Well, hello there YouTube, this is Daniel back again with another YouTube video. It's another Instocktrades graphic novel haul video. I seem to be keeping to buy new books all the time. I do love my graphic novels and comics and stuff like that, so I'll just keep adding to my collection to have for a rainy day, so to say, building my library. Today I'm going to show you 9 books in total. Most of them are hardcovers, just 2 trade paperbacks. And the first one I'm going to show you is one book that led up to the Rebirth, DC Rebirth event. And it closely ties into the Superman comic. And the book I'm talking about is Lois and Clark, Road to Rebirth, or Superman, Lois and Clark. A friend of mine told me I needed to read this before I went into reading the Superman comic books from Rebirth. Hopefully it's gonna be an enjoyable read, and hopefully I'm gonna enjoy the Superman books that I'm picking up in the future. Next up I have an Image series from Rick Remender and Greg Puccini, and of course it is Low, book 3 or volume 3. I really do love Low. I love the artwork and I really like the story. It's been a while since I read volume 2, but when a story is good and you start reading the next volume, so to say, if it's a good story, it kind of sticks with you. So it kind of jogs your memory once you start reading it. And that's what I'm expecting from this. So I can't wait to get into this, and I hope they are walking up on the surface in this volume. It kind of looks like it from the cover. So yeah, that's the second trade paperback I picked up this time. I still have a few of them to go through. But I really do like the series a lot. Next I have a book from one of my favorite creative teams, and by saying that, most of you who have watched my videos most likely know who those are. And of course it is The Fade Out by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. I hear so many good things about this book. I have been very interested in getting this one, but I've been holding out hope for a hardcover edition, just like the ones for Fatal and other books by these two. I was considering buying the trade paperbacks, the 3 of them that was released for the series, but I opted for waiting and waiting and waiting, and eventually they released it. So I am really interested to see where this book is going and what they do with it. I haven't been reading too many reviews or watching too many reviews online yet, but hopefully it's gonna be a really enjoyable read like the ones I've read so far and the ones I'm currently reading, such as Kill or Be Killed. Next up I have this book from Image, another hardcover. It's one of my favorite comics. It's the one that got me into comics. And for those of you who have watched my collection video, I mentioned that I was about to receive this book, and it came just before the weekend actually. So here it is, Walking Dead book 13. And And before I read this, I would like to reread book 10, 11, and then read book 12. It's gonna be a Walking Dead marathon, so to say. But yeah, I'll keep buying these until they cancel the series. That's the feeling I have so far, and I can't wait to get to read more Walking Dead now. So the next book I'm gonna show you is another Image hardcover. I was really interested in getting this book when it was released, but I held off. And then a friend of mine, Joachim Comic Center, he made a great review of this book, which hooked me basically. And then I also watched a awesome review by 808 Comic Reviews or 808 Reviews. He also had nothing but good things to say about this book, and I really do like the pulpy type stories. And this book by Barbier and Moynihan really looks interesting. The concept kind of hooked me as well, about these 5 ghosts living through this individual here. So the book 5 Ghosts looks to be really interesting, and judging by the artwork shown by Joachim Comic Center and 808 Reviews, kind of hooked me as well. I really do like that type of artwork. So hopefully it will live up to the hype, so to say. And I'll enjoy it, and hopefully we'll see a book 2 in the future. Next I have a DC hardcover. It's the deluxe edition of DC Universe Rebirth. I wasn't on the hype train when DC decided to reboot the whole slate of books they had. So I didn't pick it up in singles. I wasn't picking up single issues at the moment either. So I was a bit late in the game to pick up a reprint or a first print of this book, and those are selling like crazy for crazy money. So I wasn't really happy about that. And this one came along with prestige format or deluxe edition format, and the artwork looks really cool. It's gonna be interesting to see what this is and what happened in the Rebirth, and I really need to read this before I go into the event or 2-issue crossover between the Flash and the Batman, where they are going to investigate something that happens or that ends up in this book. So I'm gonna read this soon and then catch up on the Flash as I have on the Batman. So yeah, this one went on to be a bit rambly, but yeah. Next I have a couple of books. A while back I decided I was gonna pick up these books, but I held off for a long time, and then I got to borrow the first book in the series by Matthias, and luckily I did and decided to pick these up, but I still held off because I felt like they are gonna be reprinted and kept in print for a while. But during the fall, these books kind of started to go out of print at different retailers such as Instocktrades and local retailers here in Sweden. And the book I'm talking about is actually Volume 1 of Hellboy, library editions. And this one contains the story Seed of Destruction and Wake of the Devil. I really loved this book and I can't wait to reread it. So thank you, Matthias, for hooking me on to Hellboy, and this format is just fantastic. And of course I had to pick up Volume 2, The Chained Coffin and The Right Hand of Doom. As I understand it, these are just one-shots, or each issue is a self-contained story, as I'm told by Matthias. And I can't wait to get into this one. They are just gorgeous books. And of course I picked up Volume 4 as well. I haven't been able to find Volume 3 on Instocktrades, but I have my hooks out, so to say, fishing for book 3 now to complete the series along with Volume 5 and 6. And I hear last week now that they are printing a 7th book in the Hellboy series in the library edition format. It's gonna be interesting. And this one contains The Crooked Man and The Troll Witch, written by Mike Mignola, and I think Richard Corbin is the artist on this book. So, thank you for watching. These were the books I picked up from Instocktrades this time. If you would like to see more about these books, such as in a review or something, just feel free to leave a comment down below. If you have any suggestions for books to pick up, judging by the books I pick up here, just feel free to leave a comment with the suggestions down below. So until next time, thank you for watching, and bye bye.